Hey, this is June from Turning Point Life Investment, and this video is for the week ending in May 9th, 2009. So we had another positive week. The market never ceases to amaze. You know, every time you think you had to figure out, it just goes around and do something completely opposite. So we pulled in another positive week. Like I said, that 50-week moving average is not too far away anymore. So there's a very high chance that we might get just one more push to tag this 50-week moving average, or at least come pretty damn close to it. Here, looking at the stochastic, we're starting to approach overbought from a long-term perspective, okay, but we're not there yet, but we're getting pretty close. We're getting a little bit stretched out towards the upside. Okay, I'm going to jump into the daily view right away, and you notice that we've been just making a series of higher highs, not really any lower lows, okay, it's just the market has just been going up pretty steadily. I would assume that this is pretty much the correcting that we're going to get pretty much for the month of April. So this is a nice continuation push up by the bulls. Notice how we established a gap back here back in the beginning of 2009. So we're pretty much right at that gap. Okay, I would say if the market does have any more momentum to go next week, we might even tag this retest this January high. One thing to note is that volume has been definitely below average. So there's really not a whole lot of participation going on throughout this entire rally. And notice what's going on as well. We're starting to get some kind of overbought situation going on here, okay, with the stochastic. And another thing is, notice how we're getting divergence with the MACD. Okay, so we had a nice push higher by the market, but the MACD is definitely, this peak is much weaker than the previous peak that we've seen before. Okay, taking that away, something very interesting is, notice where the 200-day, let me take away this, there you go. Okay, so the 200-day moving average is once again right above head. So, you know, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the bulls want to come and tag this area right here, whether it's Monday or Tuesday. But I have a feeling we're going to tag this, and whether it continues higher or if that's the stopping point for the bulls, you know, it's anyone's guess, but this is definitely a good target to look for. If, let's just say hypothetically, if the market does continue to move higher, passing those resistance level, then I would have to say 100, or at least somewhere around 101, 102 would be the next target that this market's going to shoot for. Okay, if we get a super bullish market. However, if we do experience some kind of pullback, you know, I would expect it at least to retest these moving averages. A minor correction will retest the 20. A deeper correction will retest the 50-day moving average. So that's what I'm expecting to happen to the downside. Okay, next we go into the VIX. Looking at the market sentiment, we did manage to make a new low. So we're just converging with the bullishness. All right, the market made a new low, and the VIX market made a new high, and the VIX made a new low. But I do want to mention that we're experiencing some kind of divergence with the VIX, very similar to what we've been seeing with the market, where we're also seeing some kind of divergence. And notice how we're starting to get oversold, much like how the market's getting overbought. So we're getting some congruent signals with the VIX and with the markets signaling that we're reaching a possible end to this rally. Okay, possible meaning that, you know, like I said, you know, you always expect the unexpected. So, but you know, I would be cautiously long in this market, especially since we're getting signals that it's getting close to the end of this rally. So going back to the SPY, really the main thing to look at is right here around this 95 level where the 200-day moving average is. Okay, so I would wait to see if once it tags that 200-day, I want to wait to see if there's any reversal signs, such as a reversal candlestick. Okay, so if that's the case, then that might be an indication of a shift in momentum. If, however, we get a continuation and breakout through the 95, then I will definitely shoot for the 100, 101 area. But once again, like I said, we're, you know, cautiously long because of, you know, we're getting into overbought. We're showing some kind of divergence with the MACD. If we actually do get some kind of pullback, expect to find the support with the 20 and 50-day moving averages.